Hello everybody, I'm going to do a quick review on this V-shaped hang-all bracket I picked up from Harbor Freight. This is item 68995 for reference. These retail for $1.99, but if you used a 20% off coupon, I mean $1.60, how can you go wrong? Now I have about 5 or 6 of these that I've purchased throughout the years, and I really do like them. I don't necessarily use them in this configuration. I'll go ahead and show a clip momentarily on how I use them. It might give you some other ideas. There are a couple buyer bewares in here. If you have a sheetrock wall, you obviously want to try to hit a stud with these. And if you're just right on finding that stud, you can just squeak in with 2 fasteners right here, but this one's going to be hanging out into space or in the drywall. It's just something to consider. Supposedly these have a working load of 44 pounds, so quite hefty. I don't think I've ever put anything on there that heavily. Now I've had 2 of these hanging on my back fence, and they were actually in this configuration for about 5 years now. And here's one I just pulled off the fence. You know, it's a little worse for wear in terms of the finish, but it's still usable and in good shape, just a little ugly. Now these yellow caps over here, of course the sunlight doesn't like them, so they're going to disappear. I've had some in my trailer for a couple of years, and the caps actually split over time. Not from UV rays or anything, maybe just the heat. But anyway, not a bad deal. Back on to mounting something like this, if you don't have some type of support, let's say in your garage wall, you might consider just putting a furring strip across 2 studs with maybe a 2x4 or a 1x4 and then mounting this to that. You could even put a 5 or 6 foot section and line these guys up. Obviously they're for hoses, extension cords, whatever you want to hang on it. All in all, I think they're an absolute standing value for what they are. Okay, well, I'm in my cargo trailer, and just give you some ideas on what I've actually been using them for. You can see these 2 right here. One of these was down the wall, and I had this extension ladder hanging on it. I came up with a different solution for that, but I just moved one of them over, and now you can see I'm using it to hold some shovels. So I've got 4 shovels tucked in that little small space, and they do slant uphill, so the shovels theoretically cannot get out. Now, they might bounce out in my application, but on a wall they should stay put. In the event where I have an issue like that, I'll put a bungee cord or something around here to hold those in. I'm getting ready to put another stack in over here so I can put a couple of push brooms, you know, maybe another 2 for some rakes and whatnot. Just things I don't need all the time, and these handled tools, they're kind of hard to deal with sometimes in terms of storing them when you want them in a really small space. If you've got an entire wall, just line them up. So obviously I cut them off and I make 2 brackets out of 1, and then I can hang them anywhere I want in vertical orientations, set their spacing, whatever. Just whack through them with a hacksaw. Like I'd mentioned, you know, here's some caps here that are split. They're not sharp on the end, so when they come off, it's no big deal. I just keep picking them up off the floor. I need to throw them away. And just one more idea. This is only about 8 or 8.5 inches here in this little cubby in my trailer. I've actually cut the front of the off as well. I've got one here and one down below. I cut probably a couple inches off, so I use the top one obviously for air hoses. And then down here, all my extension cords, and I've just got a pressure washer hose hanging on that one. So that's just another idea. They're inexpensive, they're useful, and they seem to work great, so just something else you guys might consider. Thanks for watching and good luck.